Great. So we have Anu Dogra with us. The first time I met Anu properly, I feel like maybe we used to go to a couple of tuitions together as well. But first time I met Anu properly was during the IIM Lucknow interview. And I remember Anu had like all six IIM calls. And in the IIM Lucknow interview, when she came out, she was beaming and she was like, I. Amongst like one of her many treasures is how well she sings, so that she got an opportunity to sing during the interview as well. But given how brilliant Anu is, she went to IIM Ahmedabad. She passed out in 2011, and then went to various great brands like Nestle, Madura Coats.
Kimberly Clark, Diageo, alcohol.
Awesome.
I think.
Awesome. Yes. So had a great like corporate career for around 10 years. And then 2020 onwards, Anu took a break, but also started diving into the world of astrology and more mindful living. And now Anu's title says Authentic Living Coach. So welcome, Anu. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Thoda sa like just on when you were doing all your career stuff, how was life?
That time I was just figuring what is it that I love doing. I only had this clue that I love marketing. I love getting into the psyche of people, how they think, what triggers them, what how do they make decision, the different colors and creatives. So that was the world which I relished, and along with that came other aspects of like stakeholder management, being in team, filling review forms, right? Anticipating money coming only through a bonus or an increment. So those parts, I think it took me a while to understand how to navigate those areas. And also, there was this an element of travel, which I enjoyed or which I was always looking forward to in my job. So these were the things which helped me survive into the corporate world. Company of great people. I think that's one of the brilliant things that I loved. I love company of people, sitting with them, having intellectual conversations. So that was something which hooked me on into the job. Later, when these benefits started, dimming out, then it was the money part, which again motivated me to keep sticking, not quit. Or even when I would quit, I would join another job. There would be a high of a new job, new place, new uh, category altogether. But then that high would also wear out. So, yes, in the later half, it became more of this addiction of figuring out a high, something which can help me sustain for a longer period of time, because I could see that there are people striving for this kind of career that I have. So why am I not feeling good about it? Or why do I want to leave? Or how can people stay in the same company for 40, 25, 30 years and I'm getting bored in 2 years? So while I was trying to figure out these answers on my own, and looking for reasons to make me stick. So I think the later 3, 4 years I spent mostly in juggling my mental state between these two extremes till I decided that it was time to listen to the inner voice.
Got it. Okay. This was around 2020, right? So
Yeah,
you were heading marketing with Madura Coats at that point, and
yeah.
then you decided to take a pause. So what did that decision like? How did that decision making go?
So, like I said, my inner voice has always been telling me that, uh, this is not it. I think that's the line I would describe. This is not it. This is not what I'm meant to do day in, day out. But I see everyone else doing it every day and apparently feeling happy, looking happy. But why am I feeling sad? But like now, even with my clients, and I see it in the psychology of people that we usually do not take any decision for ourselves. It has to hit something which is truly, truly valuable to you, and we don't value ourselves. So it is something external always, right? And that's when we take the decision. And we are so used to sacrificing. We love the idea of sacrificing or doing something for someone else. Then that's when we actually take the decision which we should have taken for ourselves. So at that time, I was pregnant with my second kid, and uh, hypertension was increasing. There was this risk of gestational diabetes. So that was really confusing for me because I've always been quite healthy, and but I could see that this is the pressure of leadership role where the calls would start so late, and there is no term as circadian rhythm, right? You have to work between multiple zones. So all those things were putting a pressure on me, raising the blood pressure. I had gotten onto medicines, and that is something I do not like. Being on continuous medicines feels like a handicap to me. And even when I had PCOD earlier, I've worked out for with yoga for 6 months to 12 months to just get off those that metformin and tablets. So all this became a strong warning sign to me. But I think the tipping point came when doctors said that if this continues, then the childbirth would have to be induced artificially later on. And that's when I think I finally took the decision that it's time to take a pause, focus on my normal, safe delivery first, without any intervention from the sides of doctors. And yeah, that's when I decided, I think maybe, almost 10 years of working is enough. I deserve a pause, and we'll see what happens.
Got it. So at the time when you took a pause, was it mostly thinking that, okay, let me take a break, spend some time with my elder one, and wait for the arrival of the younger one, become healthier for that arrival? But did you have a timeline in mind for the break, or did you just feel like, yes, this is it?
Um, I tried to put a timeline. So I looked at my savings, saw that for 4 years it's enough to maintain at least a minimum expenditure kind of scenario if I have to live, even if all just by my own, because you always want to be independent, right? That streak of independence is there. So we always make the calculation that way. And I figured that I think we are intelligent enough to find something to earn money or do something in life in couple of years. So I had that mentally, I had that safe window of 4 years. I had no other liability, no other loan. So that was again a conscious decision I had taken so that I'm not bound by someone else who can force me to work for money. And parallel, it was also this call of it's just enough. It's just enough. And I cannot go on any longer like this. And because I was becoming a mother second time, I knew that how much work that at least that first or 2 years of motherhood entail. They are not free. They are not easy. They are not relaxing. So unless I am in my right mental state and physical state, I will not be able to do justice to myself and to the kids. So uh, I think I left the job, but I took over another job. So it was never a pause. Literally, there was another work which I started just
Yeah.
after leaving the corporate job. So,
Yeah, yeah. I feel like also just I love the framing that you put. Like we are intelligent enough to figure out, right? How many times do we think about that hey, we got to do all of these things because there was intrinsically something good in us, and like in most human beings, and that the break is not going to mean that I'm never ever going to be able to make money. Maybe the ways will change, plus also how much is enough. I love that you said what is the minimum expense that I need, controlling expenses and thinking of what exactly do I need versus what exactly do I want can help in thinking through what runway we have, right? Otherwise, when we think of the retirement corpus, it suddenly feels like such a big number, and like we have to continue working forever and ever and ever to get there.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's about breaking the loop because it's a vicious cycle. Because you're living in a metro, that's why the expenses are at this level, and that's why you have to work to meet those expenses, even to be able to exist and breathe and eat food and have a roof over your head. So you get into a job which is again in the metro, and it's because of the job only that you are in metro. So eventually, how much is the job actually giving to you, or what is the freedom it is giving? Um, and these understandings come in waves. Same understanding comes in different layers, and each time it becomes deeper and deeper. Like recently, a few days back, I just woke up and I wondered, what is the day of a person who wakes up and then signs up their whole life of that whole day to work for someone else so that they can give them some money, so that they can live their dream some other time, but they do not have time because they've already signed it up to work for someone else's dream. They're working, but for someone else's dream. So just, I mean, kind of like begging for money by giving our time that, okay, give me money so that I can live my dream for that 1 week in Europe, and whole year I'm going to work for you with you so that you can give me permission to just live that 1 week. And this breaking of vicious cycle, that's why, when we were conversing and suddenly the break came, because electricity is the first thing which picks up the vibes, right? I said about when the matrix is breaking, resistance comes up because everything is moving in a certain, with laws of physics. When you have changed the momentum, resistance comes. When there is a sudden stop, suddenly you're moving in the same matrix, everyone is moving in the same direction, and one person stops and looks around and says, why am I moving like this? I need to change. And maybe it's a U-turn. But U-turn is difficult because there's a crowd of people coming, and this whole momentum which is there, even if there are not people around, the energy, the flow of the river is that way. So it takes time to carve a new path. And usually, even in terms of thoughts, in terms of talking, whenever a new concept, something which is shattering the matrix a little bit, resistance shows up in forms of gadgets not working, some apps going on update randomly. Uh, you will see laptops or phones falling, not working. So these things I've experienced, and that's why now resistance just shows me that I'm on the right path. So I just like smile and like, okay, fine, I see it, and you move on,
Very
rather
interesting.
than wondering, why, and things are going wrong, and maybe I'm not meant to do it this way. If resistance comes, maybe you're meant to do it more.
Yeah. What got you into like thinking about astrology and like studying that and really getting into that from a modern Western point of view? Um, was that something always on your mind, or something changed?
Never. A switch happened, and these switches keep on happening in our life, just that we are not intuitively perceiving them or acknowledging them. So, the more I allowed my intuition to guide me, I had learned some spiritual occult sciences, tarot or theta healing or meditation in a decade before, also before actually leaving, but they were because of these personal hardships. So it was my choice. If I'm meant to be on this path, if I ignore it, then there was a time when personal hardship was the way which will force me to get back into it. And then if I choose automatically to get into it, so those hardships stop, because then, the universe does not need.
You are
Uh,
right. Something keeps on happening. The life itself.
so universe, doesn't need to push me with hardships. If by choice, you choose your life path. So this was, I think that's the first thing I did after leaving job is I started aligning with the kind of lifestyle I want, being in touch with nature, grounding, being in touch with all the elements, sleeping on time, circadian rhythm. So all those things I also teach in my tarot, intuitive tarot training, that how to increase your intuition, because this is the question which comes up the most, that are only few people intuitive, or can everyone be intuitive? Everyone is intuitive. That's why everyone can learn tarot. But then I tell them that if, even if the desire to learn tarot or to curiosity about tarot has come in your mind, that is not which everyone gets.
Hmm.
Then maybe it is the right timing for you to interact with it, experiment with it, and then see how you feel. Even when
Yeah.
I was learning tarot, I did not sign up for the advanced class, only basic, because I had no logical reason from my brain side that why do I really want to get into it? What am I going to do with it? That's what, for every skill, don't we always have a plan and agenda? This is what we are going to do. This is how we are going to generate money. But what if it's just about following that intuition? So I think in that 1 year, my intuitive part had gotten stronger. And the moment I felt that this is the right, I just want to do it. I did not ask why. And the contrast is that earlier for so many years I have been against learning astrology because I thought it was too cumbersome. Abhi to, finished with the studies, why to get into so many calculations? It used to feel heavy to me. But
Hmm.
there came a time when suddenly it was not heavy. I became curious about it. We see so many Vedic astrologers around us, and there were certain elements about the way Vedic astrology is conducted, I was not very happy with. The way most of the people I have met, astrologers, they are not open minded. They never make us aware about the free will. They usually harp on the most obvious questions that they think one would have. If you are above 30, when will you get married? If you have two daughters, when will I have the next? When will I have a son? Or if there is a young person again, what will happen? What kind of husband they will get? So not much clarity or details are being given about your career, your interests, your weak points, or in your temperament in general. So they're not making you aware. They're giving a dictate. This will happen, this will not happen. Whereas this is not how the universe works. There are
Hmm.
possibilities. So these two things combined, intuitively feeling that uh, I just want to know about it, and then choosing Western astrology. And somehow the teacher, she's Russian and she learned from Russian university. She also started her first batch at that time to stars align there. And this alignment is always happening around us. Do you take the step? Because
Hmm.
that's where, you're not earning anything and suddenly you put almost 1.5 lakh into learning something which you don't even know what you're going to do. Or I did not know if I was confident enough to take client sessions. Will I even be able to? So imposter syndrome, all the things were there. Just have to take that leap of faith without questioning
That's
too
very
many.
interesting to me, Anu, because like I know you went to Punjab Engineering College, so you are a woman of science, and then you did your MBA. You are a woman of logic, and sometimes in general, one would think that maybe leaning on astrology is like giving away your hold onto your life, right? Like giving away control, or saying that, oh, somebody else is responsible, something else is responsible for my actions. How did you reconcile with that? Like, I generally, if I talk to people who don't believe in astrology, these will be the questions like, no, I believe like my actions dictate everything.
See, this is a very egoistic view of, right, that I am the one who is I'm the one who is determining my life. And my view is I'm the one, but one with the universe. So me and the universe around me, we all are working towards the same agenda, is to just give me the best or whatever I have come here in this life to achieve. It is aiding me. And that is something I'm not saying that 100% I have mastered it, but every day my practice is to align that everything happens for me. Everything happens for me. So I start looking for that evidence. Interestingly, my MBA also was a result of a manifestation practical exercise where I felt I had intuition, I had vision. I just felt that this is where I'm going to land. I fell in love with the red walls of IIM Ahmedabad. Even when I would see them on laptop, I started daydreaming about them. Uh, it was as if a love story was being played out, and I knew that coming March, April, somewhere I knew I would be there. And all these 6, 7 steps are just the steps in between, for which definitely we have to study. We have to pick up the pen. We have to give the exam, do all those physical things. But mentally, when I knew that this is just a step, I think I was not anxious. Even sitting in the hall where we really tremble, I was able to bring the focus back. I know it's just you and the paper. I think that's how I'm able to isolate also. Even while giving birth, it's just me and the baby. Nothing else matters. Now we design, and the universe, our ancestors, the energy is with us. So what more, like, somewhere we have to take control when we talk about taking action. Somewhere we have to surrender also. So this amazement with stars, with universe, with sky, it was always there from childhood. So I think I leaned on to that, and which now I see in my chart also, this high Neptune influence, which makes it easier for me to believe that we are one with the universe. So there are certain markers which lead to certain characteristics. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, what have the last 5 years looked like? I know, obviously, in the beginning, the duties of being a new mom would have taken up a lot of time. And then you just mentioned that after a year, you got into the Western astrology course. So, how have the last 4, 5 years looked like? What are the key changes that you see in yourself,
Mhm.
like following your own path?
Mhm. So in the beginning, in first 6 months, I think it was the anxiety of giving birth. So that was what was on my mind the most. Plus, there was this parallel existential crisis which was happening. Like, who am I? What am I here for? Is this it? Even with motherhood, sometimes you feel like, is this it? Because this cloud captures you, and it doesn't matter whether you're in Delhi or in mountains. You are just a mother at that time. So surroundings do not make that much of a difference. But second time, it's slightly easier. I was parallelly asking that where is my life path? I think that question took precedence over all other questions that I have ever asked in my life. So, and that we also see that around the age of 34, 35 onwards, we all usually feel this, especially 33 to 37. This existential crisis like questions come up because we are meant to follow our soul's path. And that is the time when the wheels and the paths and the triggers they start changing for us. So I think I changed the question which I was asking from the universe. This astrology consultation I took at that time, and that was my first interaction with Western astrology, and I was amazed how she could pick my intuition. She could pick very acute specific characteristics of my personality. I got I got understanding of why I do certain things in certain way and how I can use them consciously to define my path and be useful in my path rather than things happen haphazardly. So that amazement after that, I changed the question to the universe. What skill can I offer to the world? That was the only question. So the question did not start with what can I do to make money? How can I make money? I took money out of picture. I believe that if I give something valuable to the world responds. And money is one of the ways in which the world responds. So it's not the question of how I can make money. Money will come no matter what. What is it that I can give to the world without the pressure or something which is not defined by the degrees, by the tags? What if I'm just Anudogra? What is it right now also? Without learning something new, I can give to the world. So I started thinking over it, and many things came, and uh, tarot and astrology also became part of that. So I think it, and from when I was in that question for around 8 to 9 months, then certain spark, some answer, universe speaks through your thoughts only. Things started coming. I experiment with them. I took the leap of faith to open it up to the people. Couple of people responded. I earned like my first 2200 that time, first money I would say from this work. So coming from lakhs to 2200, and I felt so happy because that was coming from me, not from any company deciding my worth and then giving to me offering value to the world and it coming to me. And then again, it goes in ups and downs. Suddenly you have so many things to give to the world and you are confused. What is it specifically I'm supposed to do? And there I think the help of the coaches. I'm still working with a coach. I think we should, getting coached is a luxury, which if you're able to afford, one should, because why not take that path where someone who is two steps ahead of you can show you the way in certain area, right? They may be ahead of you in certain area. Take the help if you can, because they can give you one key statement, one key insight, and that might change the way you look at the world. So I got help from the coaches who helped me navigate that from this, again, the confusion of plenty. How do I give myself the time to, again, I think 6 to 9 months, I came into a modality which was very personal to me, right? It's not just an astrology consultation, it's astrology consultation and very, very intuitive coaching. That's why it goes on to 2 and sometimes 2.5 hours. So that was my flavor, something which is different from my teacher, different from what my counterparts are doing. So slowly you take something generic and it becomes your own. So I think in the last 5 years, this is what I've learned is that there is patience which is needed with yourself. And jumping onto new questions about myself. Like this year is all about who am I? Again, it's there, but at a different level, right?
Yeah.
Um, so if there are people who are thinking that maybe leaving a job or leaving a certain relationship is the way out, congratulations, you are on the easiest level right now because the answer is very external and it's easy. But once you have done that, once you're living in a place which is beautiful, once you have so much space in the house, no pressure of timelines, then again when the question comes, who am I? And then or when even when living in such a place you feel suffocated at certain areas and you look within, why am I feeling suffocated? And how do I create that home in within me so that no matter where I am home. So now my quest is to become my own home, irrespective of the location. And yeah, I'm trying to bring a product into the world again, which is as per my beliefs that earth is a beautiful element. And while living in flats, living in cities, that's the first disconnect that is happening. Water we are getting, air we are getting, right? Sunlight is there, but where is earth? When I tell my clients to ground themselves, they do not even know. I say, okay, touch a pot. Do you have some soil around you? You cannot go out into the garden. The first thing, you don't have your own garden. So, using our body and somatic work as well, right? So,
Mhm.
this is something where, so it's a bath powder. It's a very luxurious herbal bath powder. So, the idea behind it is that this is a ritual in a jar, and this is an activity which most of us do almost daily. So instead of creating something new, which is always my aim, and I name my program also as Growth with Ease, it should never be something additional to encumber you in your already stressed lifestyles, especially for mothers. What if it can be part of that same thing? You take a bath, and we are all looking for alternate solutions to soap. So we use this bath powder. We just give ourselves 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Put these almost 20 herbs on your body, rub with them, let those oils seep in. The skin is not, the oil is not being taken away. And let the intelligence from these herbs guide your soul's journey in long term. So I'm always talking about the long term path. It's a ritual. Do this ritual with your body. Connect back to your body, because that's now my new personal agenda to make this body my home. So how can we connect with it daily? And I think it is through bath. I don't want to add another step. This is the step. Use this bath powder, feel the herbs, and let your skin eat them, because you see skin is our biggest organ. So there is science also behind it that, see, these many herbs you won't be able to eat in a year, but what if every week, 2 3 times a week, you are just using these on your skin, and your skin is absorbing those things slowly and slowly. So the clarity will come not in one day, but when it cleanses your system, when it cleanses your aura, so that's why it's called an auric cleansing powder, you will start getting clarity in your thoughts. And suddenly the path will be clearer. The decision making will be easier. The resistance will feel fun and not an obstacle. So those are the changes you can expect when your aura is clearer of all the energies that we keep on taking from so many other people. Yeah.
Wow, yeah,
So,
I'm really looking forward to my this thing. I placed a pre-order, so I'm very excited about getting it
yeah.
and experiencing the goodness of the bath powders. In the it, I what I wanted to get at was I feel like yes, you feel lighter, but I love that you also acknowledge that the mind is such a place that it then looks for deeper answers for the same questions. And
Mm.
but thankfully now you have a little more bandwidth to like spend time with yourself. Even though being a mom of two, I know that it's never easy to find that time. I also know that your husband also quit his first full-time job, and like he's also pursuing a life which is like maybe hopefully a little slightly less stressful. So any learnings from his side as well that you want to share?
Um, I think he's, more diligent and more disciplined, something that I feel I need to learn from him. Um, we all are different. So my brain and brain of most of the mothers is very hyper wired. We are too much into our thoughts. There is too much of air element that is going on inside us. And the grounding part, right? We all are different. So whereas my air element brings in the creativity, uh, the connection with the universe, I think he's the one who grounds us in the home, in our relationship. Get to learn the Saturn part, which is strong in his chart, right? The discipline, the consistency, not too much jerky reactions, or the stability part, which I see from there. And I think it was him leaving his job first that actually started this entire chain. Because had I left my job and still be doing it, then again we would be stuck in Gurgaon. So both the partners have to be aligned. We both value this contented lifestyle. We both value the physical labor that we do as a way to stay connected with ourselves. So we are not looking for high-tech gadgety solutions to save our time, because there is no time to be saved. There is only time to be savored.
Oh,
That can be a good
wow.
line,
I love it.
right? So what to save time for? For the meetings, for running to other people. There is all the time. It's just for us. There is a time to be invested into being with kids, right? So there also you need that mental peace in order to be present fully with them, because kids pick it up. So yes, we may have gotten onto our phones. That I feel is one of my vice, because it's of the work. I'm so much on the phone, but trying to practice that. But it's only now that I at least have time to even try to do that. Else, I would have said, oh, no, this is part of my job. I have to do it. I've done so much work throughout the day. Now I need my me time and I need to, entertain myself. So you just go from
Yeah.
this nanny to there, right? Because that's how we try to compensate for the lost time. I had been doing that full day at work, and then 8:30 I hit cult fit. When I did not have kids at 9:30, come back, try to eat healthy, sleep by, and then 10 to 11, I think, I don't know how on the sofa time would go on phone. And that was the rat race in which I was in. So alignment of both is required, but if even if one can start, and because so many times we are so prompted to try to change the other person with, or even with the spiritual knowledge, right? We get some spiritual knowledge and we vomit it out in front of others. Sometimes it gives us controlling rights, like something right, judgmental, being judgmental with the right thing, right? Morally right, moral policing kind of thing. So, and people stop their own journey because they think the partner is not aligned. Whereas I
Hmm.
say that if you as a family are someone, when we go to the mountain, suppose, right, and everyone's phone battery is died out, at least have your phone battery charged. So that you can guide them when the time is needed. Do not keep on telling everyone that you should charge your phone, you should charge your phone. Work on your phone battery. Work on getting clarity within yourselves, so that you are in the right mental space to give clarity to others when, first of all, they need, and secondly, when they ask. Do not give it when they are not asking for, because we are not the creators of their life. They have their own karmic journey, and we can only support when it's been asked from us. We do not have the responsibility to design it for someone else, be it kids, be it husband, be it our parents. I think
Yeah.
we become their coach. We think now we have to save them from this and this. We are not here to save anyone. We are just here to live life and remember where we came from, because that's where we are going to go. So uh, I think this few things, just 2 points I think I had thought that I will definitely share is remembrance about death, that this life is short, because we try to take all the decisions considering we will be able to reach the retirement age, and we keep on doing things which will not allow us to reach the retirement age. uh, that is there. We see pattern of our elders passing away at 55, 60, and we keep thinking, okay, that's the limit. I see it in the vocabulary of people. When I learned astrology, I knew that we have the capability to live till 120 years. The chart is made for 120 years. So I've changed my vocabulary to 100 years, right? If I'm now coming close to 40, I talk about 60 years if I have to stay alive, what I need to do. Not 2025 हो जाए तो चलेगा ऐसे करके, not 60 years. And know the preciousness of the time that you have. All the years are not the same. If the money saved today, if that is being used when you turn 60, your age, your body, the quality of the time that you spend doing other things will not be the same. So these 10 years in your 30s, in your 40s, they are much, much more precious than the 30 years, maybe from 80 to 100 or 70 to 100 that you will get. So do not postpone life for those years. They might be equal number of years or maybe more, but the potency and the quality differs.
Yeah.
And your kids are small, then that's the time which will pass away. So they will get busy with their own life. So many things which makes the now more important than the tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you, Anu. This is, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I'm so glad that we reconnected. Just to tell folks here, like 1 year back, I realized Anu is in Chandigarh, and then I was visiting my parents. So thankfully, things aligned, and we were able to meet. And I feel like it was just such an instant connection between us, between our kids. My kids kept on asking for Lara and Durga for so long after, and then today when I tell them that I met Anu, Lara, and Durga's mom, I'm sure Shloka is going to really like miss them. So
Hmm.
I'm so glad that we connected again, and it's just beautiful to see your journey, and also just like feel so free, just so free. It is beautiful. I'll try to find if I can find a couple of lines that I had written about freedom, and that's what I see in when I talk to you, right? So
Hmm.
just
Freedom is the key word. Freedom is because after so many years, this year, like I said, right, I'm trying to find who am I because I realized that freedom is that one thing which is very, very important to me. Everywhere, every decision has been guided by freedom. And that's how everyone will have that one key thing that they're looking for in no matter what they do, that's their driving force. So it's
yeah,
very important to unlock that. And interestingly, like I just designed this bath powder just because I thought this is something worth sharing with the world. And
yeah,
over days, I've discovered freedom in it. And I thought of my instant thought was towards new moms. One day I was just sitting and I was feeling, oh, when did I apply the? Because I don't even remember like when did I did what actions. We are so quick in giving the face oil and all to kids. I use natural oils only, but I forget to applying on myself. And we were sitting in a movie hall, and I was like, this so like, wow, the skin feels very good. When did I apply the oil? I'm like, I have not applied. I gave to Durga, but did not apply. Why does it? Oh, because I've been using. So it's a body bath powder technically. Yale is the name we have given. We have derived this name from Palladian language part. So this word does not exist. We have created it as per the Palladian light language because we believe that everything has a force field. So the word that you speak again and again also has that force field. And because, again, we do not want to do two things, definitely I'll create a softer, smoother face powder, face wash also. But I would then, taking a bath already, and I know that this has so many herbs, already enamored by I just love it by myself. Like, okay, chalo, let me apply it on face also. So I've been doing that consistently. And yeah, that is like, wow, do you feel this? Like, this is so
are glowing.
moisturized. Yeah. And it's like, it's such a relief. Like, we do not have time for that ritual of before bath, during bath, post bath. Those oils I have bought, they're lying on my shelf from 2 years. I'm like worried that those glass bottles will fall and something will happen. So I'm like, if this thing does it all, then why not? Like, wow. Because we know that a moisturized skin is something which stays supple and younger. So I think it's a great boon for working women, for new mothers, that they do not have to think about post bath thing, do not have to think about scrubbing. All those accessories have become redundant now for me. The body brush and all, because the particles, they remove the dead skin, oil is given. So like, wow, okay, this is something that I can definitely look forward to, and that's how we discuss about this product. That we have discovered something. Again, 60 years is what I talk about, that we personally can use for 60 years. Me and my husband, that's how we talk about this. This is something we can pass on to Lara Durga, and this will become part of their this thing. So even if, say, no one else buys or it doesn't become this
Yeah,
product, it is for us. Like, we have given them a key life input from our side, which will ensure longevity for us, for them. And that's more than enough for us to enjoy making it, enjoy using it. And the kids love it. They just sit and they're just rubbing. There's a pin drop silence in the washroom. Like, what happened? They're like, Mama, I couldn't apply it on my upper back. Can you please apply it? And she's done it everywhere. Durga, the 4-year-old. That's also, we have been joking because when guests are coming, we're giving it to them to just try. And this clinician said that, you see, there is pin drops and 15 minutes, whoever is going, they just get busy. So we don't get time to engage with our body, with each part of our body. And this is such a somatic experience to get in touch with the body. So this has been a
I'm
new
really looking
learning for
forward
me.
to
Yeah.
to my pack now. All right, thank you. I know we will end this one at that two lines
Yeah.
that I wrote about freedom. I
Okay.
said, I see the seagulls and the butterflies as they float and soar across the skies. Oh, the shed this heavy plight and follow the seasons day and night, to feel the wind beneath my wings and know the freedom that migration brings. So I
Oh,
hope that
yeah.
every is able to feel the freedom that migration brings. And in the unscripted career, we generally talk about the migration from working full time in corporate lives to following our own paths, whether it is associated with some corporate in a part-time fashion, whether it is following our passions, whether it is following our calling. I hope that all of us get to experience it, and as you said, like hopefully sooner rather than later, because this is the time when we should have with ourselves. Thank you, Anu. Lots of love to Lara and Durga, and thank you for spending this time with me.
Thank you, Swati. And it's a beautiful, beautiful topic and conversation that you have started, because this needs to come out. Most of the times, we do not take decision because we feel we are the only ones, we are the odd ones out. And community or group support, or knowing that someone else also has gone through that same path before you, or they are walking beside you, it's a
Yeah.
great motivator. It's a great uh, giver of hope that there is something better to look forward to, and not everything is going down the drain if you are taking a step down momentarily
Yeah,
in
yeah,
social
like
terms.
exactly that thing that if you take a break, it is not firstly that only women take a break because of childcare activities. It could be purely to follow your heart's calling.
Mm.
Secondly, that a lot of people have been able to take a break that you in general look up to, so it's not something that you're like pulling yourself out of the race. It is just like pulling yourself out and putting yourself into a parallel path, which might not run as fast, but that tortoise and rabbit thing of like it
Mm.
will go longer. And just like uh, success can mean very very different things to different people, and I see each and every person who's on this podcast and this discussion as really successful, and I really look up to each one of you. So thank you for spending this time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Swati. Take care.
Bye. Take care.